On a summer day, when the great heat induced a general thirst among the beasts, a lion and a boar came at the same moment to a small well to drink. They fiercely disputed which of them should drink first, and were so engaged in the agonies of mortal combat, when they suddenly stopped to catch their breath for a fiercer renewal of the fight, they saw some vultures waiting in the distance to feast on the one that should fall first. They at once made up their quarreling, saying, "It is better for us to make friends than become the food of crows or vultures." That was The Lion and the Boar from Aesop Fables. I'm reading from the translation by George Fowler Townsend. I got the book off of ForgottenBooks.com. An excellent book stop for those of you that like looking for old material. This is Geometry Journey. You are now listening to Folk Tales for Grown Folks. I am Brother Hatim, and what a great and marvelous day. Oh my goodness. The Lion and the Boar. Let's see what lessons we can go and pull out of that for ourselves. So we got two mighty individuals coming to get something important, but it's only a small amount. And the two individuals, lion and boars, countries, strong men and strong women, or however you want to look at this metaphor, run into each other at the water spot. Now, it's a well, so I'm quite sure there's enough water for both of them to at least quench their thirst. But rather than cooperate, they immediately go into beast mode. They start fighting. They start fighting over something that possibly, if they had the right mind, they would be able to find a way to make sure that everybody came out winning in the situation. But the issue was that each of them, in their pride, could not face the fact or allow the other to drink first, because I imagine there's only enough room for one of them to drink at a time. So they go into battle. They go and they're putting it all in. They're wearing themselves out. They're making them, think about this, they're making themselves even more thirsty. Now they really need to drink, right? So as they're fighting and they stop to take a breath they notice that vultures are waiting. Vultures are circling. And they look at this sight and see what they're doing and see the wounds that they have inflicted upon each other and realize that, hey, nobody benefits if we continue our battle. Because according to the way the story goes, they was in fierce battle, which means they was wounding each other, and vultures smell death. Vultures come around death. Vultures and crows could smell death from miles away. And this vulture was just sitting there waiting to feast his chops on the loser. Now, there's a African proverb that I heard a long time ago where they say when two elephants fight, the only thing that suffers is the grass. Now, in this situation here, when two enemies fight, the only one that benefits is the vulture. What is a vulture? A vulture is not even a bird of prey. They consider a bird of prey, but vultures prey off of the leftovers of other individuals that kill things. Vultures have found a niche where, because they have been able to develop a digestive system, they can eat the most revolting things. They could find use for almost any dead piece of meat. They could find use for it. And The piece we have to look at this and learn from is this, that whenever we go into conflict, whenever we go into battle, because you know I'm big on warrior and I'm big on the conflict, not necessarily physical conflict all the time, but we need certain conflicts so that we can grow, so that we can get outside of our comfort zone. But when we are battling because of our pride, when we are battling because of our ego, a lot of times we need to stop and look around to make sure that there are no vultures waiting there to reap their harvest. Vultures are individuals that come into companies that are arguing within and falling apart within, and basically take the dead parts and make some use of them. Usually break it up and sell the pieces, and they come off royally. You know what I'm saying? Vultures are those that benefit off of you falling out in your relationships. You know what I'm saying? They come in, they pick off the pieces. A lot of times the vultures may even spread some of the information or the gossip that may have started the conflict in the first place. What this proverb is trying to teach us is that there's always something or someone waiting in the wings to take advantage of when we go in without thinking. There's always something there. You know what I'm saying? There's always something waiting to take advantage of the fact that you are not in your right mind. So when you get angry and you black out and you do things that you have learned, understand that those learned behaviors are basically making you vulture food. All right? When you just react, you are being turned into vulture food, because there's no guarantee that you're going to win every battle. So in some form of fashion, emotionally the vultures is going to come in and get you. Physically they could come in and get you. Spiritually they could come in and get you. You need to really be aware of these vultures that are sitting around waiting for your conflicts to come to an end, because when they come to the end, that's when the vulture knows that they can feast. See, vultures only come in after something is totally defenseless. There is no threat from the animal that is dead that the vultures eat. The only threat that they have to be prepared for is other animals coming in to try to feast on the dead parts like they're doing. And what they do is they grab their little piece, they eat as fast as they can, and they fly away before the other animals get there to try to consume that animal or consume that flesh. All right? So be on the lookout for vultures in your life. Be on the lookout. This is Brother Tim saying peace. I hope you got something out of it. And with that, I say, I pray that your day will be as beautiful as you are.